At last, I found something worth talking about in Paul's letter to the Galatians. You remember that he's angry with some people who've gone to Galatia and told them that they've got to follow all the Jewish religious rules, including circumcision. So Paul says, I'm right fed up with these guys coming and telling you to cut off your foreskins. I wish they'd cut their own balls off. Well, perhaps those weren't his exact words. Just let me read you his exact words. I wish those who unsettle you would castrate themselves. But of course that's not true. Those weren't the exact words that Paul wrote. Of course not. He didn't write in English. He wrote in Greek. So these are the exact words that Paul wrote. But even that's not true. We don't know if those are Paul's exact words, because we've only got copies of copies of copies, and there are lots of mistakes and changes that happened in that copying process. So who knows what Paul originally wrote, although what that Greek I've shown you is likely to be what he meant and what he said. So all we've got to do now, having got something that's reasonable, is to translate it into English. Oh, I've read you one translation. Let's see if they're all the same. The Tree of Life is very similar, Tree of Life version of the Bible. I only wish those who are agitating you would castrate themselves. Okay, similar. The NIV, the New International Version, as for those agitators, I wish they would go the whole way and emasculate themselves. Emasculate. Yeah, that could mean castrate, but it's slightly lessened its impact, hasn't it, as a word. The New American Standard Bible says, I wish that those who are troubling you would even mutilate themselves. Oh, well, that's much less rude, isn't it? No reference to testicles there. Mutilate yourself, you might cut off your nose or scar your cheek or something, mightn't you? Okay, so the translators are making decisions about what they want us to hear, what they want us to read. And so are the Bibles we're reading actually what Paul meant to say? The King James 21st century version says, I would that they were even cut off which trouble you. That almost impossible to understand, that sort of old-fashioned English, isn't it? They were cut off. So it's taken out the whole idea of castration altogether. And I've never heard of this version, the Passion Translation. To tell you the truth, I am so disgusted with all your agitators. I wish they would go even further and cut off their legalistic influence from your lives. So absolutely nothing about testicles there. He's asking them to stop all this teaching about needing to follow the Jewish laws. So they don't want you to think about testicles, obviously. The New Life Version agrees. I wish those who are so willing to cut your bodies would complete the job by cutting themselves off from you. Paul can't mean castration, can he? And the Living Bible says, I only wish these teachers who want you to cut yourselves by being circumcised would cut themselves off from you and leave you alone. So what we get from that is, 1, Paul didn't write in English. 2, we don't know the exact Greek that Paul used. 3, the translators bring their own thoughts and their own prejudices to their translation. So we can never be absolutely sure that what we're reading is what Paul really wanted us to read. So can we trust the Bible? I wonder.
It ain't necessarily so. It ain't necessarily so. But Things that you're liable to read in the Bible, it ain't necessarily